Hello, good morning. Myself Dr. Poonam Dugje. Today we will discuss about cytoskeleton. In cytoskeleton topic is the microfilament and intermediate filament. So see, in cytoskeleton, earlier lecture we discussed about microtubules. So what is cytoskeleton? The cytoskeleton, the protein fibers of the cytoskeleton provide internal supports for cells. So all eukaryotic cells have at least two cytoskeletal elements like microtubules and microfilaments. But in animals, intermediate filament not present in the plant cells. Animal cells have the third element intermediate filaments. So see here earlier lecture we discussed about microtubules. So today we will discuss about microfilament and intermediate filament. First of all, see here in diagram microtubules. Green in color is the microtubules. It's near about 25 micrometer, and similar diagram in here microvilli diagram is the so intermediate filaments. Blue in color is the intermediate filament. Then microfilament is a peripheral layer is a microfilament. So see microfilament. So today we will discuss about just microfilament and intermediate filament. First is the microfilament. What is microfilament? Microfilament are also called as actin filament. Are polymers of the protein actin are part of the cell cytoskeleton. So the microfilament are the smallest filament of the cytoskeleton. Got it? Is the smallest filament of the cytoskeleton is the microfilament. Micro. Then they have role in cell movement, muscle contraction and cell division. Its role is in the cell movement, muscle contraction and cell division. The microfilament are found in cluster beneath the cell membrane, and it is a single strand of identical globular protein having molecular weight 4200 daltons. Got it? So see what polymerization and depolymerization of actin, because here the microfilament also known as actin filament, and here polymers of the protein actin are part of the cell cytoskeleton. So say here two concepts, G actin and F actin. G actin means the globular actin and F actin means the fibrous actin. G globular or the G actin actin when present in the monomeric form called the G actin, that is a single monomerically form, it's known as actin. When its polymerization become a G actin is capable of assembling in vivo or in vitro into a double stranded filament called F actin. Got it? When it present in monomeric form, it's a globular actin, and when it is a polymerization, it become a F actin, that is a fibrous actin. So polymerization and depolymerization of actin. Here another two concept, myosin and actomyosin. Myosin, here the myosin actin filament are capable interacting with another protein called the myosin. Actin filaments are capable of interacting with another protein, it's called myosin. And when the actin and when actin with myosin, it forms actomyosin. So here four concept, G actin, F actin, myosin and actomyosin. Got it? So next, list of the protein associated with the microfilament. Here the list of the proteins. Here actin, myosin, mini myosin, actin. Actin is the protein, then myosin is also protein. Here myosin, there are the two, mini myosin, then tropomyosin. Tropomyosin function is the inhibit the intermediate between actin and the myosin. It is the inhibit interacting between actin and the myosin. Then alpha troponin, here troponin sense the increase in calcium and release the inhibitors. Then fifth one is the alpha actin, sixth one is the actin binding and cross linking proteins. Here fimbrine, spectrin, alpha actin and filamin is a another proteins. Then actin serving and capping proteins. Here actin serving and capping proteins. First is the villine, and second one is the glycine accumulation, and third one is the accumulation is the protein for it use and actin serving and capping proteins. Then eighth one is the actin or the depolymerization proteins is the proline. Got it? Is the important protein associated with microfilaments. Actin, myosin, mini-myosin, tropomyosin, troponin C, alpha-actin, actin binding and cross-linking protein. Here, fibrin, spectrin, alpha-actin and filaments. The next one, actin, serving and capping proteins. Here, three another proteins, villine, jealousy, accumulating. Then last one is the actin depolymerization proteins. This protein is the propylene. Got it? So here it's a helical structure of F actin. So how microfilament are composed of contractile proteins, that is actin and myosins. So beside these two tropomyosin, tropomin C and alpha actin and other proteins found in muscles are also found in microfilaments. So actin filaments are made up of globular actin protein, that is the G actin, arranged end to end to produce F actin. So the non-muscle cells contain actin and myosin contractile proteins. So the contraction and relaxation in these cells is also similar to that of muscles, and the force generated by sliding mechanisms. So here actin and myosin, actin proteins and the myosins. So the polarity of the actin and filament in the microvillus and skeleton muscles. See in this diagram, arrow in the arrow shape. First diagram for microvillus and second is the skeleton muscles. So in this case, non-muscle cells, however, cycle of polymerization and depolymerization of actin may play a prominent role in cell movement. So the in non-muscle cells, actin may appear in variety of structural forms. For example, in intestinal microvillus, see in first diagram, in the intestinal microvilli, actin microfilament are well ordered and have regular polarizations. So the stress fibers observed in spreading moving cells in the culture are also formed by bundle of the actin microfilaments. So in the spreading moving cell in culture are also formed by the bundle of actin microfilament. So this structure also contain other proteins such as myosin, myosin, alpha actin and the filaments. So in other part of the cell, example pseudopodia, roughly membranous, and in the bulk of cytoplasm actin filaments are disposed at random and form a cross-linking networks. So it is currently believed that the change in viscosity of the cytoplasm are due to rapid modification in the actin networks. Got it? Here it's a completely non-muscular cells or non-muscular part. Here microvillus, in the microvilli, the structure contain other proteins such as myosin, tropomyosin, alpha actin, and the filament. So, other part of the cells, for example, pseudopodia, ruffling membrane, and the bulk of the cytoplasm actin filament are disposed at random and form a cross-linking network. So, it is currently believed that the change in viscosity of the cytoplasm are due to rapid modification in the actin networks. So, actin comprises a large proportion of cytoplasmic protein of many cells in developing nerve cells. Got it? In the nerve cells. So, it may constitute up to 20% of these protein. Actin is present principally in it and in globular G actin with a molecular weight of 42,000 micron Dalton, and it may be quickly polymerized to form a microfilament of fibrous actin. So F actin, which may measure several micromers in length and contain thousands of monomers in the neuron transitions. Got it? So polymerization here, F acting. So see in this diagram, uh, G acting is a monomeric form, and F acting when it polymerizes, it forms F acting. So here the see first panel or first line or the monomeric form, the upper panel here show shows individual molecule of the G acting, and the middle second one panel see yellow in color. The middle panel shows acting monomers assembling into F acting, assembled into F acting. And next one, blue in color, individual molecules of tropomyosin, that is the two strand on around one another. See tropomyosin in this gray in color, here the two stranded, then troponin, and blue in color is the troponin. In troponin made up of its three subunits. Here three subunit, that is the TPC, TPL and TPT. So the are also shown. So the lower panel shows, see in this diagram, lower panel the assemble in the filament. The lower panel shows the assembling thin filament consisting of F acting, that is the troposin, tropomyosin, and the three subunits, that is a troponin, TPC, TPL and TPT, the assembling thin filament. Got it? So the thick and the thin filament interact via cross bridge that emerge interval 14 nanometer along the thick filament. So assembling the thin filament. So the actin is very similar structure to muscle actin, and from 6 nanometer wide microfilament consisting of a double helical array of globular actin molecules. So the actin meromyosin complex has an arrow-like shape with defined polarity and comprising with an arrow. So see in this diagram, here the helical structure, helical array of globular actin molecules. So the actin meromyosin complex has an arrow-like shape with a definite polarity by compression. So with an arrow, it is possible to recognize a pointed and barbed end. So see, although the acting monomers can be added to both ends, got it? Here the acting monomers can be added to both ends. So barbed one is preferred for the assembly. So see here in this diagram, one for assembly, while at the pointed end disassembly takes place. One end assembly and second end is disassembly takes place. So this type of polarization is somewhat similar to that observed in microtubules, and both case our process is often called thread millings. So first polarization in F acting, J acting is a monomer form, then F acting, and F acting binding with the tropomyosin and troponin, and that it become assembly thin filament. So see in this diagram the process of assemble and disassemble of tubulin, which somewhat similar in the F acting. Got it? So protofibril monomers and dimers. Here see in this diagram assemble. Here colchicine is the in the cell division. It's a stop in mitotic division, mitosis. It fix this position of mitotic. So tubulin pull. So this type of polarization is somewhat similar to that of observed in microtubulin, and in both cases the process is often called thread milling. So acting filament result from the aggregation of few monomer of G acting by the process by nucleations. So at these nucleation center, more monomers are added to the end and acting filaments are fragmented spontaneously to produce a new nucleation. So here the at this nucleation center more monomers are added to the end. More monomers added to the end and acting filaments can fragment spontaneously to produce new nucleation. So here assembly and disassembly in the F acting, that is the new microfilaments. In the microfilaments is assembling and disassembling. Okay. Next is the intermediate filament. So what is intermediate filament? Is the intermediate in see earlier stabilization organelles like the nucleus, or they may be involved in specialization junction. So they are distinguished from thin filament by their size 8 to 10 nanometer and the fact that thin filaments are motile. So they are prominent in cell that withdraw mechanical stress and are the most insoluble part of the cell. So the interfilaments can be dissociated by urea. So here the different type of intermediate filaments. So the different type of intermediate filaments. So type first and second. In the type first and second, intermediate filaments are acidic and basic keratin respectively. So their monomers are found in the same cells and the dimers must contain one of the each type. So type third, here the intermediate filaments found in the variety of cell types. Vimentin, Dismin, glial, fibrillary here in the type third. And type fourth intermediate filaments include neurofilament, low L, that is low, M, medium, and or H, that is the high neurofilaments. Then these adds to strength and spacing. So neurofilament proteins add to the diameter of the axon and therefore influence its function. So intermediate filament polymerization. Here the intermediate filament polymerization, the monomers, that is a single monomer. Each intermediate filament's monomers consist of an alpha helical rod domain which connects the amino head and carboxyl tail terminals. So see in this diagram, carboxyl terminals, that is the its tail, and amino terminals, that is the head. So alpha helical rod domain and region contain hepatic repeat. Mm, So here the all diagram from Albert Biology of Cell and Brandland Publishing 1996. So see here the some example keratins, vimentin, neurofilaments proteins and nuclear lamins is the four different example of amino terminals, or uh, four example intermediate filaments. So early see here vimentin, dismin, glial, neurofilaments. So the monomer, each intermediate filament's monomers consist of an alpha helical rod domain which connect amino, that is the head, and carboxyl, that is the tail terminals. So in this figure, keratin first first structure is amino terminal or carboxyl terminal. Here the head and tail keratin, then vimentin and neurofilament proteins and the nuclear lamins. So formation of protofilament, how it forms the rod's coil around another filament like rope to form a dimer, like the rope, two rope. Okay, here the form. The N terminal and C terminals of each filament are aligned, and some intermediate filaments form homodimers and other forms heterodimers. One is the homodimers and another one is the heterodimers. So the rod coil around another filament like rope to form a dimer. That's it. Here the head and tail are in between two timers. Here the spacers uh, near about 1 nanometer first space, then second 2 nanometer, and again 1 nanometer. That is the homodimers, and the other is the heterodimers. Here head and main core part and tail. Core is like a rope like uh, rod coil around another filament like rope to form dimers, and the end and C terminals of each filaments are aligned. Some intermediate filaments from homodimers, other from hetero. So next, these dimers then form staggered tetramers that line of head and tail, line of that head and tail. So head and tail. Here the these dimers then forms staggered tetramers that line of head and tail. These tetramers is considered the basic subunit of the intermediate filament. Got it? Is the four tetra means the four. So here the final 10 nanometer filaments in helical array of these tetramers. So these dimers then form staggered tetramers that line of head and tail. And so note here carboxyl and amino terminals project from the these protofilaments. So this tetramers is considered the basic subunit of the intermediate filaments. Got it? Is the basic subunit of the intermediate filaments. So here the regulation of assembly or disassembly of intermediate filaments, regulation of assembly and disassembly. So here the most of the intermediate filaments are fully polymerization. Most of the intermediate filaments are fully polymerization. However, there is evidence that even these stable stable structure have dynamically properties. So this is some free tetramers in the cytoplasm, as if this is the basic subunit for assembly of new filament. Also, if one phosphorylates series residues in the amino terminals, one can cause disassembly. So here there is some free tetramers in the cytoplasm, and if this is the basic subunit for the assembly of new filaments, and also if one phosphorylates series residues in the amino terminals, one can cause disassemblies. So at label the tetramers to cells that produce that type of intermediate filaments can bond the tetramers become incorporated into cytoskeleton system, and the label is seen in the linear in the squiggle array. If the you added it a cell that does not normally produce the tetramers, then it will not add a cytoskeleton and system will not light up. So also here if phosphorylation series residues in the amino terminals, one can cause disassembly. So here the regulation of assembly or disassembly of intermediate filaments, regulation of most of assembly or disassembly intermediation. So the full polymerization, there is some free tetramers in the cytoplasm, as if this is the basic subunit for assembly of new filaments. So also if one phosphorylate series residues in the amino terminals, one can cause disassembly. So once again affecting here the G acting, affecting and tropomyosin. So see in this diagram microtubules, microfilament and intermediate filaments. So the microtubules, last lecture we discussed about microtubules, and today we will discussing for microfilament and intermediate filament. So here the see microvillus. last row, last panel in centromeres. Here the blue in color is microtubules, and third one in last panel, here see in the red color is the microfilament, is the peripheral layer is the microfilament, and third one is the intermediate filament. So see in this diagram in green color is intermediately formed is the intermediate filament. So microfilament is a double helix of acting monomers. The intermediate filaments here, and intermediate filament is a strong fiber composed of intermediate filament protein subunits. So here the protein subunits is the just rope like, got it. In microfilaments is helical structure, or earlier last lecture microtubules. So here the microtubules is a hollow tube forms from tubulin dimers. Got it? Is a tubulin dimers. In microfilaments is acting monomers, and intermediate filaments is the protein subunit. Filament protein subunit. So thank you. Next lecture on cell cycle and cell division.